All right. Well, listen, we said we were going to do it up for 200. So I said, Rob, we got to get somebody. Is episode 200 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. We got to get somebody of note. For some reason, we've never had the great James Worthy on with us.
I know.
You sit with the man 3-4 times a week sometimes. Like, we ain't never had him on the show. Rob's like, how have we never had James on? So,
sometimes when you work together and you're side by side, sometimes you feel like you're on a continuous podcast. He probably,
life is a podcast.
Yeah.
It seems like. So, joined by the great James Worthy, and then Rob apparently invited like everybody and their little sister from Spectrum. So, people are gonna be jumping in and out the whole show. It seems like, but
yeah, and then we had had Brad Turner, one a longtime reporter to join in. But hey, let's get to the real man, my guy, big game James Worthy, the Hall of Famer. And
how long have you guys been working together?
My friend. That's right. That's out all that. I don't care if you're a Hall of Famer, but I can say you my friend, dog. That's the most important thing.
Hey, that's all that matters. Everything else is irrelevant, man.
It is. How long have you all two been working together?
13 years.
What,
right?
13 years? Yeah.
Damn. For real.
Yeah.
Wow.
From day one. Yeah.
From day one there. Yeah. And before we even started, James, who's the white guy?
That would be we have two of them. Be Brez and another guy named Chris McGee. In fact, we have a segment unknown to the public, but we have our own little secret segment with those two guys. It's a lot of fun.
Is it called Who's the White Guy?
That's what we call it.
The two white guys.
The two white guys.
Does the white guy know? Let's find out.
It's funny because they'll go over there. Me and James be stuck at the desk. We're like, is that time? We're like, time for that segment. Two white guys.
Two white guys.
Two preppy white guys. Look like Brooks Brothers.
Oh, even better. Even better. James, we were kind of pulling for Rob for the Hall of Fame. He was on the ballot.
Yeah.
I know you guys obviously have talked about it. Didn't get the nod this time through, unfortunately, man.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, like, do you remember that call? Do you remember that moment when you got the call about, hey, you're going in?
I do. I had 3 calls actually, because the first call I didn't get in, and they call you anyway, and they tell you that you fell short and didn't get in, and you have to almost forcefully train yourself to say, "Oh, you know what? I'm so happy to be nominated. Thank you. It's an honor to be nominated." And then when you hang up the phone, you'd be like, "God damn!" You know what I mean? So that was the first year. The second year, the same thing happened. I got denied the second year. And that one was a little bit more disappointing and disheartening because, being denied one time, but the second time, they honored, was it Petrovic? Not Petrovic, but who the player that died, played in Jersey?
Drazen Petrovic.
Drazen, yeah. So I was like, okay, he deserves it. And then the third time, they called and they said, "Congratulations, you've been inducted." And when you hear that, you automatically go back to maybe your first shot as a kid. You go back to your every injury you've ever had, every disappointment, every loss, because you don't expect Hall of Fame. Yeah. I don't know about Rob. The only thing I wanted was a scholarship. I had 2 older brothers in college, and my mom and dad were working their asses off to keep them. And my director told me, he said, "Well, you can get a scholarship." I didn't even know anything about a scholarship in the 7th grade. So that's all I ever wanted. So everything else was like icing on the cake.
Since you said that, James, you know what? I was the same way. I just wanted to get out of my mom's pocket, my dad's pocket. But all I ever wanted was to make the Olympic team. That's all I ever wanted, man.
Yeah.
Because for me, I didn't care about college. I want to be on that Olympic team because of the recognition that guys used to get back then. But this was before the Dream Team. In 1992, I was like, maybe I can make it in 1992. But there was a group called Magic, Bird, MJ, Pippen.
Kind of blew that dream up.
They kind of blew that dream out the water.
Well, you would have made it. You could have made it, but in 1988, when we lost, and I think John Thompson was the coach. That was the last time we sent our college players over there to play against pretty much grown men.
Yeah.
And the European League had progressed, and so we had to show them. We had to show them who was the king. But 1980, I got a letter to try out, and everybody was looking forward to playing Russia. Man, it was like the beginning of that decade, and Jimmy Carter, President Carter, he boycotted the Olympics in Russia that year. So I didn't get a chance to go as an Olympian, but I didn't really care that much about basketball players that much. It was the track people who, they don't get 8 years. They don't get they have to have theirs every 4 years. But that was disappointing. Yeah. And then in '84 in LA, Russia boycotted. So I missed my opportunity. I was a little hurt anyway. So, but I did play in a FIBA USA amateur game. We won that. A bunch of guys went over. Scott Hastings, Darren Day, a lot of guys. Craig Kite. So I do have a USA jersey, but it's not the Olympics.
It's still cool though.
Yeah, that's still great.
That's still iconic. So you were also a 7-time All-Star. Which is a cool honor, but I mean, obviously, I feel like we kind of have to talk a little bit about the All-Star game, just because I don't what do we do with this thing anymore? You know what I mean? Like, and I think everybody's talked about how to fix it or what the hell to do with it, but it's like, Draymond said some stuff during the All-Star game where he was like, this doesn't really feel like basketball, and I don't think he's wrong. What was the All-Star experience like when you got to go? And then what do you see now when you're just like, man, it just doesn't feel the same. It's just so weird.
Well, the All-Star experience when I was playing, I think I made my first All-Star in 86, 85. And it was an honor, man. It was an honor.
It's always an honor, isn't it?
To be chosen amongst your, coaches and writers, but to be chosen to that. And it was competitive. Back then, there was a lot of emphasis being put on being there for the fans. Corporate America was there. They wanted to engage. Kids were there. And we did our part. Participated on Saturday. The three-point shot was exciting. The dunk contest was exciting. Then the game, we performed, but the East always wanted to beat the West and vice versa. So I would say the second half, it would get competitive. And guys would remember, that elbow from 2 months earlier, and there was guys that didn't like each other. It was nice. It was competitive. And, we played for, I think the winners got $15K, $10K or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. We just wanted to beat the East. That's all. And but it was competitive. It was fun, and the fans enjoyed it because we participated.
Right. And I like the East-West. Like I think that's like a natural built-in rivalry in the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. Like, why did we get away from that?
I think they should have kept it East-West and just talk to the players about how they played that weekend, because the last 3 or 4, man, it's not. We don't want our brand to look like that to young people or globally. It's got to be fixed. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I think you talk about the brand is the most important thing. And the part that pisses me off about the All-Star game is all these guys, due to social media, you post how hard you play in the off season against dudes that don't know even how to play. But yet you're getting the All-Star game against guys who know how to play, who's going to protect you, is not going to try to, dive on the floor and take your legs out, just trying to do something of that nature. They don't play that hard. It's like, what are you doing? And for me, it's almost like they should do it where, okay, how many years you been here? You got 7 All-Stars? You get no more, because this is not important to you because you've done it over and over again. you get excluded. Bringing these new guys that we're gonna make the league new, make it exciting.
Right.
You got them play hard because you get some of those guys. You think about it, you get like an Ant-Man, you get a Wemby. They're gonna play hard because they don't know no better.
Right.
But then they do come in the league. They see you not playing hard, so they think that's how it's supposed to be. And now you start that snowball. So
setting a bad example.
Yeah. And we got our guy Broderick Turner.
I was gonna say, BT, help us fix the All-Star game.
BT, give us your opinion on the All-Star game.
Man, the best thing about this weekend was cooking dinner and drinking wine. Otherwise, why would you even want to watch it, man?
BT, that's you every day, though, bro.
That's true, James. That's true. You guys mentioned about how these guys work out during the summertime and they post their videos. Someone mentioned that when the players come out to UCLA during the summertime, James, I think you played there a lot. The Rico Hines games are more competitive during the summer in August and early September than the All-Star games are. Why is that? Why can't these guys compete? I mean, my friends all smoke cigars. They're asking me the same questions, and I don't have the answer, James. Rod, I just don't know what to tell them.
I think All-Stars, they take it for granted. They know they're going to be chosen. They know it's a weekend that they're going to make a little money. I think they should try to pick like non-superstars. I wouldn't mind seeing Holiday or guys who play hard. Reeves, set the superstars down one year and let them soak on that.
Mm-hmm.
Set LeBron, set all of them down and let some of these guys play who play hard. Yeah. Holiday, Reeves, you know who they are. Yeah. They're almost all-stars.
Norman Powell.
But
Norman Powell.
Let them play. Let them play. And then, tell the guys that, we're going to give you a break this year and see how they like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like I said, they take it for granted. It's like after 7 years, you cannot be an all-star anymore. So now you're like, damn it, I don't get to be all-star. Yeah, because you don't play hard anymore. You take it for granted, like you said, James. And so they got to find a way because, man, you think about how often as a kid, me growing up, loving basketball, would run to the TV and want to watch the All-Star game because this is the one time that you get to see all of them in one place. You ain't got to watch a game each and every day to catch, Magic, to catch Bird, to catch Jordan, to catch these guys. You get them all in one spot at one time. And then the dunk contest, all these things were like, they were highlight. These are images that you sit back and remember as a kid, especially as a guy loving basketball. But now these kids that are watching that's going to maybe be in the league one day will say, oh, All-Star is just fun. And now that's embedded in their head. So if in that day they do get there, they say, oh, we don't play hard here. It's not how it's supposed to work. So
but think about all of our guy. I don't mean to interrupt you, Jan. Our main guy, Kobe Bean Bryant in the All-Star games.
Yeah.
That dude went at it like it was a playoff game. Mm-hmm. And if they claim they all respect him so much and the trophy is in his honor him by playing the game the right way and playing hard.
True. So true.
Yeah.
Either that or 1 year. This would I think would raise some eyebrows. And you guys have probably heard this already. Let the American players play against non-American players and probably get their ass beat. You know what I mean? You're thinking about all the European players. Do that 1 year. But I like a hard game, guys playing, maybe pick, 5 superstars and 5 pretty good bench players and mix it. Because I'm telling you, man, people don't want to watch it. They don't want to watch it.
Well, and the format doesn't really do it any favors either. I think there was only like 30-something minutes of basketball and 2.5 hours of breaks and Mr. Beast filming a YouTube video on the floor and Shaq dressed like Scooby-Doo, dressed up like someone's grandma trying to get on a plane with that big-ass hat he was wearing. It was more bit than it was basketball,
Yeah,
I like Kevin Hart, too.
I was on a plane.
I like Kevin. I like Kevin, too. Too much Kevin, though.
Too much Kevin.
Too much Kev, yeah. And I
And
like
what happened to like the real good dunkers and like it's this guy from the G League. He's won 3 years in a row, right?
Oh, Mac McClung,
Right.
yeah.
Matt,
G League. We can't get anybody. You know, no more Vince Carters. No more. You know, they talking about coming
Kobe's.
back now. Zach
Yeah.
Levine's talking about I'm going to come back now. This kid is killing them, jumping over the cars. But yeah, the All-Star weekend needs to be revamped, and the game is just not happening.
But I would say that it's up to the players.
Mm-hmm.
They have to decide if they really want to play hard and compete, because if they don't want to, then it's just going to be the same sad viewing stuff we saw over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's up to them.
I think this is my first time in a long time I saw nothing of the All-Star. I mean, I even forgot it was on. It was like, I didn't turn it on. Me and my mom was sitting in the kitchen like, what do you want to watch? Whatever you want to watch, Mom. And she, of course, she put it on some channel. We was watching that. And it's just like I heard there was a bunch of commercials. I heard that, the teams only played up to 40 points. And it was I'm like, okay. And I'm usually an All-Star fan. I like to watch the All-Star, of course, for the competition, but just for the new shoes, the socks, who's going to perform. Did someone perform this year? Because I don't even know if someone performed, so that's the whole thing. You just wanted to see who's going to sing the national anthem. It was so many different little intricacies about the All-Star game that you should tune in for. Now I'm like, and I love NBA basketball, but I just didn't tune in this year.
Yeah, no, the whole thing was very weird.
Mm-hmm.
It was very weird. And the fact that they keep changing it and experimenting with it and trying different stuff, I mean, it shows you that they're trying something, but at some point you got to just stop messing with it and just let it be what it is. Yeah. Like we said early on, I don't know why we got away from the East versus West of it, because I just felt like, okay, that's the traditional All-Star format, right? The American League versus the National League, the East versus the West. Right. That's kind of and we know it's not going to be any like we watch Major League Baseball All-Star games the same way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But at least they're out there having fun and they're playing a game of baseball. This is like basketball, but not basketball when they get to
hey Brad, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What if the NBA did like Major League Baseball, and if you win, you get home court advantage?
That's a good one, James.
If guys thought that was important, then the West or the East would automatically get home court advantage. I don't think throwing money at it is going to.
No.
They're talking about raising money. We saw that through the Emirates Cup.
I mean, these guys are making $50, $60 million a year. The money is not going to persuade them to play any better. But that's a good thought right there. I mean, MLB did that.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to get any better until they mix up the players. Yeah. Bring me some bench guys who play hard, mix it in there with some superstars. They might have to do that.
Jay, we just added one of the guys from the show that we're going to probably see. Well, you won't see tonight, that we're going to see tonight at work. Welcome in, Mike Bresnahan.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Mike?
Mike Bresnahan.
Hey, the computer with tennis shoes.
Not today, James. I got to be honest, not feeling too fresh. Just got back from 4 days of wine tasting in Solvang and Paso Robles.
Well,
so I'm
you better get ready, because it's just you and Rob tonight. I am not feeling that great myself, man.
I just got that text. What's going on?
I'm not coming to the studio. My nose is running like a faucet.
Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, now everybody's sick. Oh, here we go.
My nose is running now, too.
I'm out, too.
Oh, man, everybody's out.
How was your weekend, James? Is it still going on your whole weekend? It's Wednesday, James.
I'll be better tomorrow by my tea time. Don't worry.
Of course.
The funny part, they going BT, for people who don't know, he fills in sometimes. He doesn't, reporting for Spectre. He comes in and he blesses us with students. But I've never worked BT. So BT, I think you need to call AJ
Go
I
in
agree.
tonight, BT.
I'm stepping in for James tonight. Give me that check.
Tonight.
You know, that's a big check, man. That'll pay off my trip to Paris.
Hey, Perez,
Yeah.
we were talking about the All-Star game. What's your fix?
I got to be honest, I didn't watch 1 second of it.
Wow, this is amazing.
Nobody did.
It's amazing how many NBA guys were like, "Nah, I'm out."
I mean, I was in Paso Robles. You know, I had to enjoy my vacation. Just reading about it, obviously, I probably read what you guys did. Seemed like the games were a lot of stoppages in time, and the players didn't really appreciate that. So, got to figure that out for sure. That's all I read.
What do you think about? What do you think about like non-superstar players not getting to play every year and mixing in some hard playing guys like Reeves and Powell and mix in some
Josh Hart.
Bring in some guys that play hard.
James, we have a phrase for that on our post-game shows. The big game, James, impactors.
That's right.
Impactors on the court.
That's right.
How about media? What if like BT suits up for one of the games?
No. I'm gonna keep my nice suit on that I buy in Paris, but that's about it.
Well, I mean, there's got to be a fix. I don't know if we have it, but I feel like we're going to talk about it every damn year now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's just every year. And look, I think what was it? There was like some crazy stat that was like it was one of the most socially engaging events in NBA history, and I'm like, I don't know if that really skews to success, though. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people were just talking about it because it was a bit disjointed and kind of all over the place. Yeah. So I don't know if like the social media engagement of it equals success, but something's got to happen. You talked about McClung, James. There was this number out there about Max made, I think, like $132,000 in his NBA career, and he's made $310,000 in the dunk contest. I was like, and there's kids at Disney World wearing Mac McClung jerseys because he's dunking over Kias. And it's like, I mean,
no. The funny part is the kid had his jersey on. He walked right past it, a nice jersey. He's like, thanks, bro, and kept walking.
Didn't even know him.
His friend had to go run him down. Like, you don't know who it was. That's his jersey you have on. That's like that John Stockton one in the Olympics where he's like, oh, who's that guy? Who's that guy? And so, who's this guy? Oh, that's John Stockton. And he's like, oh, is he pretty good? Yeah, he's pretty good. So yeah, it's always it goes to show you sometimes these kids who wear this paraphernalia, like they just, I don't know if their parents are buying it for them or they picking it out themselves, because a lot of times they don't have a clue.
I also think like John Stockton just realized that his name was in Kendrick Lamar's song.
Yes,
and
it is.
Did you see his expression? He was like, well, I heard my name. Somebody heard my name.
Yeah.
I bet he has not one rap record in his collection, Fred.
No.
Not one. Guaranteed. Wow. A lot of Barry Manilow in that collection.
I can tell you who does have a lot of rap music. Our lady in waiting, Allie Clifton. Hey, Allie.
Hey, what's up, Allie?
Hi, friend.
A Range Rover, probably on her way to work because she knows she got to do extra work because Big Game is not coming in today.
Oh my God, you hit it right on the head. I'm in the parking lot at work, actually.
Wow. So this is like the Spectrum pre-game now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so fun.
And this is why.
Hello.
Where's Chris?
Yeah, where is Geeter?
He said he was going to get on in a minute. Yeah.
All right.
So, Allie, we were talking about the All-Star game. It says, how would you fix it if you could fix it? What would be your recommendation?
Oh, shoot.
Watch your language, Allie.
No, it's a podcast. Go crazy.
I think we've gotten to a point where it's not more so of what we would do to fix it, but it's just the investment and the actual buy-in and want and desire of the players, right?
Correct.
I do think that after watching, we were just talking about on our podcast yesterday, I do give a lot of credit to Steph and the committee for trying to come up with something different, trying to put a twist on things, because obviously there needed to be something done. But having said that, I think watching that kind of format, we just need to get back to playing the game. And there is a part of me that thinks with the younger generation, and look, we're talking about it from the NBA in general, kind of moving to the younger group, the younger faces, the younger, et cetera, that they do want to just go out and hoop, and they are going to play hard. I mean, you saw the Wemby, the moments where, he took bringing a book to the All-Star game.
Oh, that was something I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was wanting to take it very serious. I think too, all the extracurricular stuff, like you're probably going to see a better dunk contest, right? Thanks to shout out Mac McClung. And also, is this one-on-one tournament? Just the other things too that can help. Not
you think about it, they had a one-on-one back in the, who was it? Kareem versus Dr. J? Was that who it was back in the day? You remember that?
They used to have one-on-ones where they would have Tiny Archibald playing against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Pistol Pete. I mean, whoever. It could be a guard playing a center. That is pretty exciting, actually. But
so
you're talking about
MMA.
It would be more exciting now because guys didn't have no moves back then. I mean, you're talking about a 15-foot hook shot.
We did have an idea that we talked about, though. If you did the one-on-one, there needed to be like a weight class, kind of like a height class. So like 6'5" and above were in their own class, and then 6. Because think about it, like Kyrie is probably one that you would want to bet on. You would take, but at the end of the day, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So outfit, right?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
You know what I said about the All-Star game? I said once you get like 7 years of being the All-Star, you get timed out. So you get out, and so the new guys come in, and it seems like now that the new guys who should be in there now, they ready to show you why I'm an All-Star. Because these older guys, like, this is not saying anything about, LeBron, Kevin Durant, all those guys that have been in there for years and years. This gives these guys to be on this big-ass stage to show you why I'm the future. And so, to me, I think you should, okay, we'll honor you. If you want to come, you can come. But you should time out the so many years of being an All-Star. Oh, you're a 7-time All-Star? Yeah, you're done. You can't be an 8, you can't be a 9, so, and I know that's like saying that's it's going to, disrespect a lot of players like a KD. But this league is about the next generation. And if that next generation comes in and play hard and entertains us for the All-Star game, why not showcase them?
Yeah. So, hey, you brought it, Allie.
Saying something smart, Rob. Sorry about that.
He saves it for the podcast. Allie, you brought up Wemby bringing the book. Did Rob and James, did you guys have pregame rituals, and everybody else, is there something you do before you go on the air or any of that stuff? Like, what's your pregame?
Well, I mean, for me, it was a lot of stretching. And back then, we had Walkmans.
I'm quite familiar with the Walkman.
Yeah, those little cheap headsets that screwed up my hearing. But most of the time, Rouse wanted the locker room to be tight at 6 o'clock. We watched a lot of video. A lot of guys listened to their Walkman stretching. But speaking of Wemby, Kareem used to read 2 or 3 novels a week. He always had a book in the locker room. That's the way he avoided media. He would read. He would have his book, and he would not look up. Brad,
yes,
they would be standing in front of him, and he would not look up. He would just read his book. So Wemby, another 7-footer following in Kareem's footpath.
And look who just joined us. Our guy, Geeter himself, Chris McGee, coming off a big turn in Kansas City. Did y'all win?
We did not win.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We did not win, but we did well. Girls did well. Both girls were there, Rob. They both did all right.
For all y'all know that, Geeter's girls are following in his footsteps. They play volleyball, and he got a USC signing. I don't know why she's going to USC, but
yeah, she's a junior in high school, going to USC.
She was UCLA, would have been a lot better,
Yeah, they also got an offer, Rob.
Oh yeah,
tends to help.
Hey, you got that Spectrum money. You could have just had her to walk on and pay for that over at UCLA.
He is
a lot
so
cheaper
happy.
than USC.
Rob, he is so happy. He and Jess have been saving up money for the last 10 years. It's been minutes to school, and they've already spent it.
We're going on vacations.
Yeah.
Geeter, you're $500,000 richer because of this. You should be buying dinners for us all the time.
By the way, I didn't know everyone would be on at the same time. I thought I had to call in late, and wait my turn.
No, it's It's the
Free
200th
for all.
episode, man.
Yeah, it's the Royal Rumble, man.
And this
The big-
is just
the big question, Geeter.
everybody I love the most, in this podcast right here. These are my brothers and my one little redheaded sister. So it's
the big question, Geeter, is what to do with the All-Star game. Your thoughts?
Man, James, the All-Star Games is in some trouble. I got to be honest. It's not even on my radar when I'm on these volleyball trips. Like, no one's talking about it. I go online and social media, and people are just heckling it. They got to find a way to fix it. I don't know what the answer is, but from what I'm told, this was one of the ones where everyone was pretty frustrated with it. Did you guys watch it?
I did, but I also was
did.
drinking wine and cooking dinner, so I saw some things happening.
I mean,
Wine
listen,
was
I like
good.
it. Yeah,
I tried to watch
it.
it, but it just it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean,
The
I
only
like
thing that
the
made
fixtures.
sense was I did enjoy the kid hitting $100,000 shot. That was
Yes.
Oh, that was good.
more of that.
I'm into all of that stuff too, James. Like, I like the 3-point contest still. I like the dunk contest and the kid hitting $100,000 shot. Love that part. I just don't know how you're going to get it, guys. It's just a different time, different era. It's a risk and injury. They don't want to, I don't know, ride on the line. I don't know how to change it. You see in the Olympics, they're competing at the highest level. You see in the season, they're competing at the highest level. But it's not like it was back in the day when it's East versus West. It's just not.
Yeah. I was like, you was like,
Rob, I have a question.
Go ahead.
The hell it take 200 episodes to get me on this thing?
Man, Geeter, get on that, Geeter.
Y'all can bring that up with
Same thing
Mr.
here.
Robert Ory, okay?
Yeah.
I've been
Oh,
asking
it's
him
not your
forever.
theory.
Like, invite people on. Let's have some fun. He's obviously.
Yeah.
Geeter,
Hey.
welcome to the family.
Yeah.
I'm number
Hey,
202.
Think about it. 200 is a special episode. I wanted y'all at the big moment. That's what I'm saying. 200.
That feels like a world-class cop-out right there.
He
And
wanted
plus-
us.
I
He wanted
heard
us so bad that he's making us all share a screen.
Right.
Yeah, the video's going to be a
First of all,
mess.
You
Yeah.
know, there's three people that is on this podcast right now do another podcast that they be like, oh, we gotta do a podcast. I didn't want to come out it's almost like when a certain somebody left me off their list of favorite.
Oh, touche.
So I'm just saying though, I know you guys' time is very valuable because you have your families. And then you have to go into that studio and do a damn podcast sometime when you want to be spending that time with your family. So I don't want to interrupt that family time.
Hey, Geet, what Rob's trying to say is he just got 6 birds with 1 stone in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Pretty much, yeah.
And apparently Geeter is like me sometimes. His internet is like in and out. That's that beach life for you.
I tell you. Well, I mean, while we got the entire Lakers staff on, it seems like, do you want to speak to the Lakers of it all? Where we are now, post All-Star break, how we see this thing going forward now?
Ooh. Well, the biggest news right now is that Mark Williams may play tonight with Charlotte against the Lakers. How about that?
Yeah, that sure doesn't surprise me.
No, it does not.
How do you fail a physical and still play? I mean,
That means that one
good
team
question.
don't care about you.
yeah.
That's what's you feel fuck that. Get your ass out there. You're gonna play. We're gonna show these Lakers that you need to play.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel a couple of ways about it. Like, I was wondering the same thing, James. You're 23 years old, and when he does play, you're playing about 30 minutes a night, because I went and looked, and his numbers are good. He played 10 out of 15 games in January, and I was thinking the same thing to me. But if you're the Lakers and you're going to make this long-term investment, because that was the goal, right? You re-sign this young man, and then you start to think, well, why is Charlotte getting rid of this guy at this age who's got such high upside? So there's that side to it. And I don't know what the issue was, but if it's knees, if it's feet, if it's butt, whatever it was, the Lakers are doing their due diligence. And I think if they're looking at this and saying we can't bank on this, then they have to be right by the franchise and send him back. So I don't know, man.
Well,
it's hard to fail, I would think, unless it's something, knees like Brandon Roy. I don't know, Rob, but
it totally made me think about my situation with Sean Elliott.
Yeah.
When the Rockets traded me to Detroit, and they did a deep dive because they had heard Sean had bad kidneys, so they had all types of doctors, and they just strictly checked his kidneys out. And they're like, "Oh, you're gonna miss some time. We ain't got time for this." So, here's how you look at: do we get rid of a guy that's young, only in his second season, or do we go with this guy who's been in 6 or 7 seasons? And what's the upside? Who has a better upside? And I think the Rockets did the best decision for them with bringing me back, and then we won a championship. And I text Dalton Connect that, and he took it. He gave me a thumbs up, and then he finally said, "Thank you, bro."
Oh, that's cool.
I was going to say they talked about that on the All-Star game, actually. Kenny brought that up, Rob, about your situation with that. And he said, but the best thing was you came back and they won 2 championships. I do wonder, though, from that standpoint, as you mentioned, because I believe, did Mark just speak to the media yesterday or today and said he didn't know or realize that he had failed his physical? He didn't think he did. So
I read he spoke to the media yesterday after their practice here in LA.
Yeah.
So that
I think is very telling.
It is.
I would love to know what it is. Hey,
Brez, I thought Rob was going to talk about when he got traded to the Phoenix Suns and he behaved like a little brat.
Oh, no, we don't bring that up. We don't bring that up.
We don't talk about that. No, we don't talk about James Worthy. No. Would you have ever done something like? Well, it is Danny.
I was so disappointed that Rob did that, because if you're going to throw something, throw a fucking hard right into that face. You're going to leave anyway.
Go out in style.
I hit that pinata, Rob.
Right. And then, of course, the great Jerry West saw that. He goes, I don't care if Rob misbehaves. I don't care if his parents are mad at him because he wasn't behaving the right way. The great Jerry West went and got Robert Horry.
BT, you and I should actually be sending thank you notes to Rob for doing that and coming and winning us 3 championships. And those were some glorious years right there. So I'm glad Rob hated Danny Ainge and threw it in his face. I've been wanting to do that to Danny Ainge my whole life.
So you happy that Rob misbehaved?
Yeah, he didn't misbehave. He's a winner. He wanted to come to LA and be a champion.
It's a business decision.
Business decision.
And business has been good ever since then.
Just think, if he would have never done that, he would have never met me. He would have never jogged on the beach for the first time. True story.
Wow. Well, that's true, too.
Yeah. First person.
I was like, what do you mean you've never jogged on the beach? He's like, I've never been to the beach to jog. I said, well, let's go.
Surprised your knees allowed that, Rob.
I felt like Rocky and Apollo.
I was still sort of young then. I was only, 4 or 5 years removed from the league, so I still had good knees, a good back, good everything.
What did you guys go, peer to peer, like 3-4 miles?
No, Brez, let's not get crazy. We took a nice little jog about, a couple lifeguard towers down, maybe a mile or 2.
It was 2 miles. I think it was 2 miles.
2 miles in the sand is like 3 or 4 on track. That's pretty good.
Oh, come on, Brez. When you jog, you have a case of beer in one hand and a 6-pack in the other one. Stop it.
I'm looking at this marathon in Paris where there's wine you can sample every mile. So I'm considering it.
You and I will both be there. Hey, so, Rob, I was going to ask you about when you and James brought up the Olympics, the one that USA lost. Well, guess who was there as a fan? I was.
Seriously?
Yeah, I went to visit my uncle in Seoul, South Korea, James. And I have to admit, I cried. Because I couldn't believe that they lost to Russia at the time. Mitch Richmond, your guy, was on the team. Stacey Augmon was on the team. I could not believe my eyes that here I am paying all this money to go to the Olympics and they lose to Russia. I mean, I cried for about 20 seconds. Then I realized that, come on, man, you're a grown man around here.
Yeah.
Just stop it. So that's my one Olympic moment that broke my heart.
Oh, was that 88?
Yes.
Yeah.
1988. And thanks to that, we got the dream team.
The thing is, we were supposed to play Russia in 1980.
Yeah.
That was the year that Jimmy Carter boycotted. That was my year. And in 84, Russia boycotted the LA Olympics. And so 88, that was the first time we met them in a long time. Yep. And they beat us. That was John Thompson was coaching that team, right?
He was.
Yeah. I think that's when they started to realize that just not enough time, 3 weeks, a month to prepare a bunch of guys to go play against grown men who've been playing, together since they were 14, 15 years old. So we had to go get the dream team. The only thing I didn't like about the dream team is that one college player. I didn't understand that one.
Oh, right. Where did he go to school?
He went to some school in St. Louis called Dick.
Dirty Dick
University. Yeah. I always thought they're going to go pro.
Yeah.
That could have been Dominique Wilkins' spot. Isaiah Thomas for sure should have been on the team.
But here's the thing: if you're going to take a college player, you take Shaquille O'Neal out of that game.
Yeah.
You don't take
he was pissed about that too.
You take Shaq, or you take Alonzo. I get it. They took Christian Laettner because he was Player of the Year and he just coming off a national championship. But we can see who out of those three I just named who had the better NBA career.
But where did he go to school again, James?
Dick University in St. Louis.
That'll do it.
Home of the Dicks.
I always kind of laugh at the angst about Olympic basketball and how, we didn't win it this year. I mean, U.S. hockey hasn't won a gold since 1980. And before that, they won it in 1960, and that's it. So they've won 2 golds in the last, 65 years. It's crazy. And they're not going to win it this year probably, or whenever the next Olympics is. Whereas USA basketball is just dominant, especially women's basketball. And I always chuckle a little bit about, oh my God, USA, they might lose this year. Canada's going to be good, and this team's going to be good. Oh, they always clobber these guys. You and I have talked about this. They'll have one close game in the semis, maybe, or the quarters, and then they usually roll and roll and roll. Although the gold medal game this past year was pretty close.
Well, and the semis they were down 17.
Right. So there's always that one scary game.
Yeah, and then the final was super close. Yeah, I mean, the world's definitely getting better, but I think when USA considers basketball they're just not used to people being close to them, and it's just getting closer and closer, which is actually the beauty of it too.
So
it is.
What's the line? I have to ask Bresnahan this. What's the line on LeBron playing tonight?
I think he plays. He went through most of practice yesterday, right? I think were you there, Geet, yesterday?
Oh, Brez, you know what? I don't know why I thought someone told me he was out till Saturday. Is he playing tonight?
Oh, no. I haven't read or heard anything.
I heard that he was out the next 2 as well.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, I heard the same
Possibly.
Now, here's the question. So you think LeBron are missing these 2 games just because he missed the All-Star game, or is he missing these 2 games because he's hurt?
Well,
a little bit of both.
Pretty bad teams.
That's not going to the spectrum guy. That's going to the guy who can't get in trouble for answering this question. That's Brad Turner.
Well, I did go to practice yesterday, and it came out that he was questionable. So obviously that's changed since then. I would say he's not hurt, Rob. He's injured. There's a difference. You can overcome injuries. And a little sulking going on, I think, there. I mean, to show that, yes, you guys criticized me for not playing in the All-Star game. I didn't tell you until Sunday, which was, in my view, please, LeBron. That's wrong. Because another player, for example, like Norm Powell, could have played in the game. Mm-hmm. The biggest issue I had with him, more than anything else, was taking the team picture in his fit. Come on, man. I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he went and got the uniform and took the picture. Brian, I know you're a bad boy, and you've given me some good wine over the years. Unlike Allie Clifton. But come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
For me, though, I look at the point because I always look at a lot of different things, and like for me, I had a lot of incentives in my contract. And one of my biggest incentives was if I ever made a first team all defense, first team anything. And then there was one for All-Star. So you think of a guy like a Norman Powell, he ain't making big money like LeBron. He might, I don't know if he does, but I'm just saying for him particularly, if he had that incentive in his contract, if you make the All-Star game, that's $500K right there for you. And that's the thing for me, I would say with LeBron. He probably could say, yo, man, hey, I come the last day, but I ain't playing. Give that to someone else. Because he got more money than anybody in the world. So,
My God, I want to be on film.
What is happening?
Oh my God, where's Candace?
She had to go run some errands. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
But yeah,
Candace
so
avoids, by the way, Candace avoids the camera the exact same way. She will drop to the floor and crawl out of the room behind it.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah. But yeah, so I just feel like there was an incentives for some player that could have probably been on the team that they lost out on. So that's the thing that hurts me about that. You know, I understand that, you know, you've been here for 40 years. You don't have to play. We get that. You know, just let someone else have that position. So
I mean, I say a little bit of both because I feel like if he wanted to go in that All-Star game and then he's there and the ankle's not good enough, then it is a part of should you be playing 2 days later or do you get a little extra rest? I don't think it's so much about the teams they're playing, but it's just more to me like if you can get a couple extra days rest, then I think we've seen the benefits of that.
Hey, Brez, correct me if I'm wrong. Did there used to be a rule that if you were chosen to play in the All-Star game and you didn't play, you couldn't play in the next game coming back?
Yeah, I think there's been a couple iterations of it. Like if you, there is that, but I think that's out. The more recent one, I believe, is you have to play, or if what is the rule?
Or if you played on Friday or something, you had to play on the
correct
weekend.
Correct. Yeah, if you played the last regular season game before the All-Star break, then you have to play in the All-Star game. You couldn't sit it out. So if you're healthy enough to play a real game, you got to play the All-Star game. Now, LeBron, I don't know, Geet. Like, are the Lakers gambling a little bit again? Because you got Charlotte tonight.
I don't know, Brett. Yeah, I think we look at it like that, Brez, but I don't know if they do so much. I think it's LeBron feeling like, you know, when he's 100, he can go. And if tonight's, I don't know. I mean, because, like, listen, Portland's playing well. We've seen it. And this league, it doesn't, I don't know. Like, look how Utah played against the Lakers the other night. Like,
Exactly.
There's always a risk of losing to whomever you play. So,
yeah, I mean, eight guys were on the injured list for that Laker game against Utah. Not all of them sat out, but they had 8 guys on the list. And what happens, you know, some of them played, some of them didn't. They got crushed pretty much.
Here's what they need to do for the All-Star game, All-Star weekend. They need to bring back, and I know there'll be about 5 or 6 broken bones, or ACLs, or whatever. Bring back the old-timers game. I remember the last time they had that game in Seattle, I think there were 4 ACLs in that game. Those old-timers got out there and they forgot that they were old and they tried to run and jump.
Dude.
Bobby Jones was in great shape. He got up on down the floor and dunked. Calvin Murphy was in good shape. But, boy, they had Don Nelson out there. They had it was a mess. But they should bring that back. That would be fun.
Would you play, James? Would you play that game?
If it was non-running, if it was just a little walk.
Non-running. There's an entertaining game.
Yeah.
What if you replaced the skills challenge with the one-on-one and you did a halftime with the older generation? So it's not as, and you could even do like a half court thing. You could do a 3-on-3.
Like a game of horse. Big
Game, you have a great point. Now, granted, I know a lot of like the intrigue is because every time you and the Showtime team, like that reunion you guys had in Hawaii was so big because of just how much you guys share with one another. But you're right. Like if you expand it to like an entire generation of guys like that and gave, God.
Let's have a game of knockout.
It'd be so fun.
Yeah, but
it'd probably be too many injuries.
But if you did that, you said, "Listen, you old timers, we're gonna have a training camp for you mofos." So now the All-Star game is in February. We're gonna start in December, and we got 2 months because we don't need all y'all out there getting.
But what about guys just fresh off the court? Maybe like a Garnett, or guys who retired maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I guarantee you, they love to go out there and play a half-court game against some of the current stars. Anyway, that's just all-star crap.
Well, how about this, Jay? What about your guy who always says he can play, MJ? MJ says he can still dunk.
MJ messing around with the NBA no more, man.
Nah, that's true too. You're right.
All that money.
Yeah.
He don't need to mess up that brand. He's good.
Yeah, you're right. He's
Yeah.
got that Robert Ory money now, so why mess around?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He ain't got that. He ain't got that Robert Ory money because we didn't get paid at Carolina. Rob took a pay cut when he came to the NBA.
Yes, he did.
Hey, let me just say so. Hey, MJ got that fuck you money. I got that. Please give me some money because I got to have another job. I'm Jamaican over here. I got 4 jobs right now.
There's a big difference in a multi-billionaire and a multi-$5-millionaire. Big difference.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we've chewed up everybody's time here for probably about almost a solid hour. I know everybody's got to work. Allie's at work, sitting in the car.
Allie, so proud
Jesus.
Good job, Allie.
You know, someone's got to do it.
Allie,
I got one question
Allie,
for
you want
Rob.
to do pregame today?
I got one question for Rob. Nah, Geeter, I'm not coming into work today, man. I'm not feeling that great. Rob, is Alabama gonna pull it off this year? Because I know my Tar Heels ain't gonna be in the show. What you think?
What off? Well,
what you think? Alabama, can they pull it off this year?
Man, the way they played against Auburn the other night, hell no. Because it's like it reminds me of watching UCLA last night. Everybody in the whole arena know that ball was gonna go with Sebastian Mack. Even freaking Minnesota, and they say, "Oh, we shutting it down." Everybody on Auburn's team know down the stretch you're gonna go to Mark Sears, and you don't use anybody else. You think about that game against you guys. How Mark Sears had a bad game, but we went there. I just lost his name, the white guy for Alabama.
Yeah, you guys were more versatile that game.
Yeah, he went to the white guy. He just went 1-on-1 against you guys and killed you. I can't think of his fucking name right now. It just lost his name.
White guy's good enough.
Yeah.
Never change, Rob. Never change.
Never.
But his thing is against Auburn had 2 big slugs out there, right? And even though Broome might be player of the year, he didn't even use. He had 3-4 fouls, and he didn't use the opportunity to try to go at him 1-on-1 because he wasn't going to foul. But he never. That's what I hate about coaches, that you have to be able to adjust your game plan. Now their best player becomes to the point where he can get in foul trouble, and you have a guy that can go 1-on-1. Oh, let's run a 1-on-1 for him. Go at him like he did again in the North Carolina game in the NCAA tournament. He never did that, and so Broome, he was able to stay out in the court, knock down some big shots for him, and it was just everything was ran for Sears, and then it was ran so high that Sears was catching it at half court, and they had 2 bigs that couldn't shoot. And I could go on and on about that game, but it's fun though now to watch college basketball because I'm doing their radio. But no, I don't think Alabama, unless they change here now, I don't think they have enough. I think Auburn, man, watching Auburn and Florida and Duke. I hate to say it, James, but those 3 teams right there, they play defense and they got some guys that can ball.
Yeah, I agree. I know you get no argument from me.
Yeah.
Hey, James, do me a favor. Can you ask Robert Ory what happened the last time Bama played San Diego State in basketball? I'm just saying. My little school. Come on, Geeter. What we do to you, Geeter?
State schools.
The Aztecs went all up in Bama.
Yeah, Bama had average age was 18. San Diego State's was 28. So what you expect? Grown men versus little boys. You don't ever mention that, do you?
We give people opportunities, Rob. That's what we're doing.
Hey, Brad.
Yes, sir.
I need you to set up me a meeting with Balmer, man. I'll talk to you about it later.
All right. How about your boy?
I need you to set up me a meeting with Balmer, man.
All right, we can make that happen.
Big game in Palmer.
It's been nice talking to all the crew, man.
Feel better, big game.
Rob, hold it down,
man.
I got you.
Appreciate
Congrats
you,
on
man.
200, guys.
Somebody come in. I'm available, guys. I'm just sitting around at home.
Brad going in. Brad just
BT every week.
Brad.
That's it, man.
And I haven't had any wine yet, so get me soon.
Congrats, guys, on 200.
Good job, guys.
Thanks, Gear.
Congratulations, Rob.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank you.
guys,
Appreciate y'all.
Hey, I love you all. So I
thank you,
appreciate
Rob. Thanks for having me
All
on.
right, brother. Much love.
Stuff, guys.
Allie,
Yeah.
go try to get pretty.
I am 22 minutes late for my makeup time. I gotta go.
Oh,
talk to
get
AJ.
out of here. Go.
Go try to get
I'm
pretty.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Like,
Anything
this
for
ain't
you guys.
important enough. Go.
You guys
By the
are
way,
the
Rob.
priority.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Rob, this is why Allie's so successful. I'm not going to get to work for another 2.5 hours, and she's already there in the parking
She's
lot.
there.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. Really impressed.
You know, I'm not in the makeup chair till 5 o'clock. So
Right, there you go.
and then it's just powdering them out the door. You got guys like Broderick Turner who don't know how to turn off his stuff. So
No, he figured it out. Took him a minute, but he got there.
hey, hold on, Brad.
Yeah.
Do we have a game today? Do you have a game you can pull up? Man, maybe Brad can do the game.
Oh, I don't have a game prepped.
You don't have a game.
No, because I didn't know how many damn people you invited half the universe to be on the show today. So I was like, all right, I don't know how I'm gonna pull a game off, but yeah, no.
Brad, we usually play a game called White Crime or Black Crime.
I had Black Crime or White Crime on the page. I had it on the page.
Oh,
I didn't put it together. I didn't put it together.
And then we play a game called Waffle House or Walmart.
Ooh.
Which is a fun game. I just give you a badass crazy story. You just have to tell me if it happened at a Walmart or a Waffle House. It's surprisingly difficult.
Our favorite, though, is Black Crime or White Crime. So it'd be a question like an individual was, found walking down the street butt naked and
fighting with the cops dressed like Santa Claus.
Yeah,
black guy, white guy.
Yeah, black guy, white guy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Do you ever ask Rob about the segment we used to have at work called Good Cop, Bad Cop?
No. Dish, please.
Rob was always the bad cop. Like James would be the good cop. He would be asked a question by Chris McGee or Allie, a basketball-centered question like, hey, do the Lakers need better defenders on the perimeter? And James, the good cop, would be like, oh, no, the perimeter defense is just fine. Everything's good. And Rob, the bad cop, would whatever it was, he'd have to argue, no, it's a terrible idea. They need much better defense. And Rob, didn't you used to have like a little police hat you wore?
A police hat and some glasses I would wear. Yeah.
He just keeps those in the nightstand now, just in case.
I think I got too real one time, and I called out everybody on the team, so they kind of canceled that segment.
That was it. That was it.
That usually gets it there. Yeah, usually gets it done.
Yeah.
All right, Brez, we'll let you run, man. We appreciate you, dude.
Thank you, Brez.
Thanks, guys.
I'll see you later, brother.
All right, sounds good.
All
All right.
right.
Well, that was quite an eventful show 200.
Was that too crazy for you?
No, I just didn't know. Like it's. I love it, by the way, because that's cool because that is that's your work family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that's awesome, and I've known a lot of those folks, but never had a chance to talk to any of them. So getting to sit in on what felt like a family conversation is cool. You know what I mean? Because that feels like that's probably how the show runs behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes, it's funny because everybody that was just I would say this when I talk about no basketball, they all know basketball enough from in and out, and and if you put us all together and you ask which person probably know basketball the most, it's probably Allie. Allie, Allie used to hoop. She deep dives into basketball. She knows a lot of stuff.
She hosts a podcast. I mean, she's been around for a long time, man.
Yeah, she does a Spectrum's podcast, and she has a podcast with
Richard Jefferson, right?
Richard Jefferson and Fry. Mm-hmm. So she knows a lot, but she probably number 2. Number 1 is probably me.
Oh, wow! don't sprain your arm patting yourself on the back, man. Jeez. No, that was cool though. I like that. That was fun because it was like that's who you work with every day. Mm-hmm. And I think that's fun. It's cool to talk to all those people. Obviously, y'all have a great relationship, which I think is cool because you never know when you go into a show like the show you guys do. It can feel like work, or it can feel like, like what this show is for us. Mm-hmm. It's like it's just fun. We do it because we love to do it. It seems like everybody genuinely really likes each other there, and everyone gets along really well.
The funny part, we hang out together, even outside the studio. So that's the fun part. Even the people who are not on camera, who work behind it, we're pretty close to them because they're all so much fun. Nobody walks around with like they're better than the other people. There was only one person since I've been working there. It kind of was there when I first started, that didn't have a clue on what she was doing, but she's not there anymore. And I'm not. And so she was like the very first person we worked with. I can't remember her name. So. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was. But everybody else was close.
That was a lot of fun though. That was a lot of fun. It was cool to have all those people on. By the way, for the sake of recounting it, Big Game James Worthy, Brad Turner, Allie Clifton, Mike Bresnahan, and Chris Geeter McGee, all at the same time. Pretty much the entire Spectrum crew all at once. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. That was actually really cool. So, and just like that, we're gonna call that show 200. because that was pretty. I don't know how to top that or continue to go on. I mean, it was so much at once, which I thought was fun.
I feel like I make you earn your money today because that's a lot of shit going on.
Not at all. The video is going to be a mess, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm
on
saying.
YouTube. We're going to be like 25 people popping in and out. James kept turning his video on and off. I was like, knock it off. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I think because he was blowing his nose.
Is that what? Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's a rule too. I think if you miss a game, you got to work like the next 3 in a row. So hopefully we can push that NBA rule on James.
No, you know what? I know because when he doesn't work, I fill in, so I get paid per game.
Oh, never mind.
So if he's
James,
not there,
listen, man, you take your time.
time.
You take your time. You get better when you're ready, buddy.
Because, hey, James said that I got paid at Alabama. No, I didn't. I never got a dime.
No,
I wish I would have, because there's some things I know now.
You didn't play football at Alabama.
I
That's
got
the difference.
freaking paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference is you didn't play football at Alabama. Okay.
Hey, don't get me wrong.
You played football.
I did have a great summer job, ST Bond Construction Company. I love you, Terry. And so thank you for letting me work for you during the summer.
Was this when you were in college?
Yeah, I was in college.
What did you do?
I was literally on the side of the road shoveling asphalt. My first year
Wait a minute,
there.
you just said I had a great summer job, and your job was shoveling asphalt on the side of the road?
I worked from 7 a.m. I was at 6 a.m. to 12, 7 to 12. But my paycheck was great.
Oh.
Yeah. But you gotta understand, my first year I was on the side of the road shoveling asphalt. Then my second year I was driving a truck. And then my third year I was inside the building pushing the button like this, dropping the asphalt into the dump truck, weighing it. I didn't even get out of my chair to take them the slip with how much the truck weighed, because you needed that for in case you got stopped. I made them get out the truck, come in, and I handed it to them. They get back in the truck and take off.
Wow.
I was like this all day. Boop.
So you went from hard working to lazy as hell, like just in the span of a couple of years.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna tell you what, I can't get in trouble for this now because nobody gives it. So my fourth year, I just went down there and picked up a check.
Oh, you didn't even go to work?
I didn't even fucking go to work.
Oh my God, this is starting to feel like your NBA career.
Hey, at least I showed up in the playoffs, man. That's the only time it really counted.
That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.